Hello and welcome to another video. So in this one we're back on iRacing looking at the Mazdas again. So this time we're going around Tsukuba. So this is the first round of season 2 in 2022. I'm going to attempt to do all the rounds here this season. Let's see how we go. So off to a good start there. We get a decent launch, but as you see we qualified in 4th place for this one. But there was a lot of cars close together qualifying time wise, so showing qualifying very important in this one because there was a lot of people very closely matched. She said, see, can we do anything early? Just going for a slightly different line, but nowhere to go with that. So slot back in behind. So it's a very difficult track to overtake at this, I noticed. You've got to try and take slightly different lines into corners to see if you can get on the powered earlier. You know, very much if you want to go for a move, you want to set it up 2 or 3 corners ahead. But really the best way of making moves I've found is to just put the car in front under as much pressure as you can. As I said, get offline, twist a bit, you know, try and get to a point where he maybe over defends into a corner or makes a mistake into a corner, allowing you to go for the move. So as you see there, we go for a different line, but we do go a little bit too deep. Can we get on the power early? No, we can't get on the power early enough there. So it's all about just stick over the back of the car in front and see what you can do. So she said it's just all about trying to pick different lines, but as you can see, us 4 at the front are already starting to drop the cars behind a little bit, so we could have a top 4 race on here. And as I said, it's the very fastest guys in front in the qualifying, so obviously we're going to have to try and stick with them. They're not going to be the easiest to overtake, but I was thinking in this, just put pressure on. You know, the car in front, he's trying to pressure the car in front of him, so if we can pressure him, could easily force him into a mistake and move up a position. And then this final corner is very difficult, this final corner, and you can use all that AstroTurf on the exit, but it's very hard to judge where to get on the power, and you've got to get the turning right. If you get the turning wrong like I did then, you lose a lot of time on that corner. So coming on to the 3rd lap now, and we've definitely dropped the cars behind now, so it is a 4-horse race here. It's a 15 lap race this, so plenty of time still to go. You see the car in front goes very wide on the entry of that corner. He's right on the limit, so as I said, if we keep putting him under pressure, that could be somewhere where he just steps his tyres off the track maybe. But as you see again, just going for a slightly different line through that corner to see if we can get on the powered any earlier, but nothing doing with that, especially with us all being in slipstream. Very hard to get a run on a car. And again, we get much better this time, but maybe a bit too much on the curb. And I said you can go all the way out. I think basically as long as your tyres don't touch the grass, you don't get an off track there. See, 103.8 and 103.5 for the cars in front, so we're doing fast laps here. I mean, the slipstream will be helping, but really in practice 103.8.9 was sort of the best laps I could get there. The car in front looks very wide on the entry to that corner, so as I said, he's possibly could make an error there at some point because he's taking a big risk how wide he's going there. You see the car in 2nd place is all over 1st place as well, so you know, there's always a chance for someone making an error when we're battling this close. So we'll see what we can do here. Oh, and car in 2nd looks like he's gone a little bit wide on the entry there. Can the car in front get a run on him? See, we did that corner a little bit better, maybe a bit slow on the entry, but we got a good run out. And yeah, they're going for the move in front. What's going to happen? Oh, so you see, we just led off. Where can we go? Go right. And we luckily just get past that. So again, putting him under pressure maybe forces the car in front to be worried about me. I think he might have missed his braking point, but we will go back there. You see Austin not too happy, but we will go back there now and have a look at what happened there. So let's see. So as you can see here from the helicopter camera, it looks like he's just braked a bit late, but he has got his nose in, and then they just make contact, and it looks like he maybe pushes him there, which is a little bit unnecessary from Christoph. So let's see from Christoph's point of view. You see, he does get his nose in, and he does run a little bit wide. I think he did have space, he didn't quite keep it on the apex there, but we'll have a look at that from Austin's point of view. And then he nearly takes that black car out as well. Let's see from Austin's point of view. So Austin comes into the corner, he turns in, locks up a little bit, see, yeah, and then gets hit. So I think that's possibly Christoph's fault there, but a little bit of a racing incident. Both made a little error going into that corner, I think, and both ended up in trouble. But we managed to see what was happening. We backed off, we found where the space was, we moved to the right where the gap was, so we've lost time to the car in front. So we'll have to see at the end of this lap how far ahead the car in front is. But obviously we've now got a job on to chase him down, because it looks like we've got a huge gap behind now. So it's just a race for first place now, see if we can catch him. So if you have
front is now 1.8.
See, so 1.8 seconds the gap in front. If you can hear, I'm now started to use Crew Chief, so I'm going to be using that for a while to see, because I've seen a lot of reviews saying it's much better than the iRacing spotter, and I have quite liked it the first couple of races I've used it in, so I think I'll be keeping up using that. And I also started using some overlays from SimLab apps, so you can't see them on the screen because I used the iRacing in-screen recorder just because it's nice and simple for recording the race, but obviously I didn't think about the overlays not showing, so I'll have to use the screen recorder to record the videos in future so that I get the overlays on the screen for you. So obviously here I did have the relatives on, but obviously you can't see the relatives because the black box I just had on the lap timing. So as you see now, we're just going to do everything we can to put in some clean laps and see if we can chase down the car in front. But as you see, we're still doing 103s and we're now not in slipstream, so we're still doing good laps here. So we've definitely got a chance if we can chase down the car in front, put him under pressure. You know, never know what can happen, because we're only on lap 7 now, so we're coming up to about halfway through the race. So there's plenty of time left for anything to happen, and obviously there's a massive gap behind, so unless we make a big error, we've got nothing to worry about from behind. But this is all about now, I was just trying to be smooth and constant and see if I could get the just constant clean laps in. Try and be as consistent as possible. And I did notice through this race I was getting better at that final corner.
Time was 103.80.
See, 103.80, so we're still in the 103s, which I said in practice really the high 103s were sort of the best laps I could do. So the fact that we're doing 103s consistently in the race is very good to see. But that corner there is one of the ones I struggle with the most. Turn 2, the left-hander. But as I said, turn 1 and 4 I think it is, and seem to be quite confident with getting turned in and getting on the powered early. But the second one of the 3 hairpins, I seem to really struggle to just get the right line consistently into that corner. But we'll see at the end of this lap, try and see what the gap is to the car in front. As you can see, we had dropped it to 1.4, so if we gained on him any more, see if that updates. 1.5, so we've actually lost a bit of time.
Good for fuel. That was at 104.11.
So
0.27 off the pace.
Yes, we made an error in sector 1 there. I said this corner we're trying to brake as much in a straight line as I can and then get it turned in and on the power as early as possible.
1.5.
But I feel like there's more time to gain through that corner. But at this point I was starting to think we've got similar pace, but if I can keep it clean, I have got the pace to match this guy, because I said after the incident it was 1.8, it's now down to 1.5, and obviously that was after a lap with an error, so we have still gained on him by quite a bit. So we were just looking now, can we close George down ahead, just keep the laps clean, keep them consistent, and maybe get close enough to force him into a mistake. Because as the two cars in front of me prove with that crash, it's very hard to overtake on this track without getting involved. But you see, big mistake from George there, goes wide at turn 1, and we had gained 2/10 on him in that previous lap, so hopefully we can gain even more on him now in this lap. So let's see what we can do. See, it's braking for this little right kink, which I take just a little lift. And there was a few little arguments in the chat on this. I don't know how well it picked up on the recording, whether you can hear it, but there was a few little arguments what sort of went on in this. Yeah, so there must have been incidents going on further back in the field here. But let's see when we cross the line now. Not the greatest final corner that time, but let's see if we drop the gap.
Okay, Phil, we're matching race pace. Your last lap time was 104.00.
104.00. So we're doing regular high 103s, low 104s. So I'm quite happy with that pace. And as you can see, we have closed right back up, 0.7 behind George in front now. So we've definitely got the pace here, so for a couple of laps left to go, so we'll see, can we get over the back of him, can we cause him to make a mistake, can we have an opportunity to try and set a move up. But as I said, that's a very difficult thing on this track. See, so we definitely managed to keep it tighter on that corner than George does, but George is keeping it very clean as well, so we're not gaining on him hugely, but we're going to have a few laps, I think, to put him under some pressure and see if we can get a move done.
Good consistency, keep him coming. That lap time was
I don't know whether you heard the voice chat then, because I was struggling to hear it during the race, but that one did make me laugh. The one guy said, how many people are you going to take out in this race? And then someone totally different said, how many are you going to take out? Because he had been took out by that guy, I think. So, you know, as I said, it sounded like there was a few incidents going on further back, which again is showing at this track, qualifying high up the field is very, very important, because it sounds like in the back of the race they were having much more of a rough race than what we were up near the front, which also showed by the fact that we were constantly pulling away from the cars behind. So me and George here did have the pace on everybody else in this field, other than maybe the two that crashed on lap 4 or 5, I think it was. But you see, 0.6, so have we brought that gap down anymore? It's probably gone up. No, it's still 0.6, so we're still right on the back of him. We're just not really, I could do with being a little bit closer so that he maybe feels the pressure a bit more. Again, here just trying to break in, see, just trying to get it turned in late. Don't want to get on that curb too much.
okay.
Find it unsettles the car.
Wait for him to make a mistake.
See, so there, she said, Jim's telling us wait till he makes a mistake, and as I said, that was our thinking in this one, is we're probably not going to be able to overtake him. So let's just see, can we put him under enough pressure to make him have an issue? Oh no, that might be the comment where someone said how many people you're going to take out.
Just you.
See, yeah. And he answered just you. So I think this was the first time I had a race where people actually spoke in the voice chat, and I can see why people find it amusing sometimes, but sometimes it is a little bit off-putting, especially in this situation where you're trying to battle for first place and you can hear people having a bit of an argument. So a lap and a half left to go here, so what can we do? Can we put him under any sort of pressure? See, so again we're better in that final corner, but he does get a good exit out of it with his line, but I think we get a slightly better run through the whole corner with our line. So now can we make him make a mistake? See, so there's the white flag, so we're just coming round onto the last lap now. And we are all over the back of him, so let's see what we can do with this.
Last lap, looking good for a podium.
So looking good for a podium, and he does make that mistake. Can we get the power down? He just cuts off in front of us a little bit to stop us. So good driving there, so gotta do something if we want it, so we're going for a different line. But we just go a bit too wide and then turn in a bit too much, so we sort of lose momentum there. So that could be our last chance, was to try and maybe get momentum out that corner and see if we could pressure him into this turn here, but we're going to be too far away now without a big mistake. You see, I do prefer my line through there, but his line might get you a slightly better exit there.
Keep the pressure on.
But you can see we're all over him. One turn left to go, so we're probably not going to get the move done here, but you never know, he could make a mistake. And he does run a little wide, but keeps it together, so that's going to be a second place in this one. So across the line for second place.
Nice one, Phil. Great drive. That's a podium.
So I said good race to George there. He did very well, because I think I was putting pressure on him towards the end. So I'm quite happy with that race myself. So if we look at the results here, so strength of field 1,400, gained 0.61 safety rating and 73 iRating there. They said coming second, best lap 103.5, average 104.5. So I checked top split, so if we just go on to top split now, and you see their average lap of 104.3, our average was a 104.5, so I'm very happy with that average lap time. And their fastest lap I think was only 3 or 4 tenths quicker than my fastest lap as well, so it was a good race that. So if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.